Okay, we're back. Things cleaned up. A lot better than they did. I didn't show you knocking this out of the trap door here, but that comes out right there by beating on it with a socket right here and a hammer. Just knock it out. Then aside, you can check stuff. You want to make sure it's clean all the way through the hole. Especially down inside this hole, it collects a lot of crap in there. So this one looks pretty good. A little rust on it, but that's no serious. So I get all them all cleaned up in there. Pull the rollers out and look at them, see how used they look. Look pretty good. They're shiny, so they've been used. They look good. Here's a new clutch gear, which is going to be expensive. There's a new seal that goes here, but also on the crank over there, so I guess here's my tool fit on it. Here's a bunch of shift forks to change heights. And here's two different manufacturer shift shafts, the same one as we had, which is the pinch down one, not the splined one. So these are called the smooth ones. So this one's from V-Twin, this one's from another supplier, McGew. They look pretty close. You can tell they're different manufacturer, but they're very close in what they are. So one of those two we'll use, or there's another one. I think there's another brand I got too. I think there's 3 different brands of those I have. They all work. Yeah, that one's definitely worn. This is definitely worn. Okay, so we gotta look at a few parts here, see what's going on. These here are pretty damn loose, I'm not sure why. So I want to see if these are loose on the bore here. Can you hear the rattling? It's because they're loose on the bore. Here's another supplier. This one here is plus 10, which is probably what I start with on his bike. About the same. Pretty loose. So it looks like they're about the same manufacturer quality these days. So when you put these two on top of each other, this one's a plus 10, so that means this will be 10 thou higher than what this one is here. So what that effectively does is it moves the shift fork further that way, because this part doesn't move. This moves. And that'll move the gear further down and makes it closer to the other gear, which gives you a better shift pattern. So we might play with these a little bit. These are expensive, so let's see what the customer wants to do. So you can either change that out, or you can do something different. So you can take this here and trim this down here, or if there's a shim in here, take it out. I don't think there's a shim in there right now. I'll take this out and make sure it's tight either way, and I'll see what's behind it. But for now, it doesn't look like there's a shim under there. More stuff to play with. So, alright, we're all good to go. This part here, I'm pretty sure needs to be replaced. Excuse me. So this one here has the O-ring on it. So instead of being a two-piece arrangement where this goes inside of this one, this is all one piece. Damn. I'm allergic to Harley parts. So this one just how the seal goes in here. The early ones, these are press in. This bushing here presses into here. This one here looks like it's a press in style. Other than that, they're interchangeable. So this has the O-ring already on there, and the groove's not screwed up. But the biggest thing is the teeth aren't bad. You know, they're not super high quality. Yeah, they're actually pretty smooth. Some of these are pretty rough. These are actually not too bad. My fingernail's not really digging too bad. There's a little bit there. It's relatively smooth. Some of these are pretty damn rough. So this one looks pretty good. This one even has the bushing in it. I mean the bearing. A lot of these don't have the bearings in here. So this one's all set, ready to go. So I only had 3 of these left. I got more than 3 bikes, so we'll have to see what this one's going to cost. So these fit all the way from 52 up to all the kickstart bikes, 369CH or 366XL. That means everything has a round case like this over here. Takes this gear. When they put the hump on here, they change the gears. Alright, let's see about this seal right here. Okay, this tool will not go inside of this seal. So that means I have to go modify my tool to make it work. Yeah, it's just big enough it won't not go. You think gyms would make their stuff correctly when you have to modify it. See, I already modified it once. I'm going to modify it again. Alright, we'll have to play with that later. I want to see if that crank's going to tighten up when I put that in there, because right now I don't like how things are. I don't know if the customer wants me to go in there and fix it or not, so we'll find out. Okay, the bearing race inside the case there for the bearing surface. Right in there. Looks like it's been worked on. It's a little rough looking, but as in the finish, but it doesn't have anything wrong with it that I can see. You know, the finish is rough, but there's nothing wrong with it. No bearing areas, so it looks good. Alright, so we're going to say it's probably good. Seal looks good. Alright, so what we have to do now is put bearings in there. And we'll see what the main shaft fit here is, how bad it feels. Or how good it feels in this case, hopefully. So we have to goop it all up to do that. Alright, today's goop is going to be blue grease. Somebody asked me what the blue grease was. It's that. Let's see, what did I do with that washer? Put one of these in here. Somebody asked me how I clean my parts. Frequently and carefully. Figure it out. Okay, put a little bit of grease in there. You come in here and put all the rollers in there. You would do 2 at a time or 1 at a time, your choice. You can hold 2 really good. 3 becomes a problem, it's hard to control them. Fingernails help, I have none. Makes it difficult. Okay, it's in there. I always like having a little gear on there when I check stuff so I know the bearing area is in the right spot. You can have a washer in there, so we'll just space it out a little bit. Let's see what we got. It's loose, it's good. Spins freely. Took quite a bit of clearance. Probably could tighten up a little bit, but better be loose than tight. So I'm good with that. Looks good to me. Alright, so that part of the case is good. Only lost one. Surprised it didn't just come right out. It didn't want to come out. Okay, so that all looks good. So if we change out this gear, we can check our end plays here a little bit. Yeah, who put that back in the wrapper? Alright, this has to be blown off. Just gonna blow the crap off. The bearing feels a little tight in there, so you need to put a little cleaner in there to get them. You can hear it kind of moving a little bit, but it's not turning. So you want to get whatever junk in there is out of there. So you put a little brake clean or solvent or some kind of non-water mix is preferred. Water causes rust on steel, in case you didn't know. All that junk cleared out of there. Slide in there now. So I'm going to blow them out real good again. A lot better. Still feel pretty dry in there, but it's good. There's no oil in there. So it's starting to roll a little bit. You need to be cleaning it a couple more times. Work out whatever grits in these. This will have to come back apart anyway because I can put seal in it if he uses it. We'll see. We're just going to do a mock-up in here. Where's the trapdoor at? Over here. Let's see if it goes back in. If you're going to beat these in, use a plastic hammer. Going to kind of beat it in squares. So you do a little at a time, it'll self-center on you. It's about halfway in right now. So you kind of spin it as you hit on it. Okay, not quite in there all the way, a little bit of a gap on the back side. It's getting there. That sounds pretty solid now. I hit a little bit harder if you noticed. Okay, it all looks pretty good. Alright, this one doesn't look all crappy looking like the last one. Okay, now you want to put the counter shaft in next. So you put your washer over here. First thing. The 4-hole gear, and this was all full of grit on the main shaft. This had all kinds of black gooey crap come out of here. It wasn't cleaned very good before. Okay, this one here goes over here on the counter shaft. You got 4-dog and 5-dog. See, that's got 5-dog. Main shaft, 4-dog counter shaft. Thick spacer. Thin gear with small hole. Thin gear with big hole is on the main shaft down there. Make sure you put the lip here out. So there's a little snug going on. Make sure you got a little bit of clearance for the gear. See, there's no clearance. The clearance, it rotates. If you have a tight one, make sure you got clearance here. The reason you have this spacer or shoulder here, because it hits up against the trap door right on here. It keeps the gear from rubbing across the whole face. If you put it on the other way, it could rub across this whole face and cause a lot of drag and put metal in your tranny. You already have enough metal in these trannies, you don't need more. Okay, these ones look the same tooth count. One's 5-dog, one's 4-dog. That should tell you which one goes already. This one here is flush, this one has a lip on it, shoulder. This goes on the main shaft, this smooth one goes on the counter shaft. So that means it goes over here. Okay, here's our 2 shift forks. Change those out. So this is a -5. Try that. I think we need to go a lot on this one though. We got more. It's a -20. That's a big change. We'll see what we need. I don't know yet. So the other one can go longer. We'll do a +10. These are all standard. See, it's a +10. Says plus on it. This one's a minus. See, it says -20 on it. So minus goes this way, which moves the fork closer to you. This one's higher, so it goes further away. This one goes on the bottom. Okay, we need a little bushing that goes on the end of the shaft here. Do the bushing, should be laid right in front of me. Okay, this one goes inside of the dog down there. You got your barrel, your shifter down in here. So just make sure this drops in there. So it goes right inside the groove here. The other one right here. The other bushing. This one goes through this gear here. Yeah, there it goes. Slide it around. You gotta put it inside the groove right here. So we're in neutral, which is where we want to be right now. Neutral is always one slot up from being in there, all the way against the top. Okay, let's do 2 hands here. This doesn't want to just slip in. You rotate it back just a little bit. Not too far. Come back in neutral. Okay, so this here was worn pretty heavy on this side and not on this side. I don't know what these grooves are all about. I'm going to put that on the trapdoor side. I want the case to be a good fit on the case. So I'm reversing how this was in before. Make sure everything's nice and free. This will go down until it hits a stop, or not. You don't have to go all the way if you don't want to. It'll push in more if you have to with the trap door, but if you want to go more, you hit it. Okay. You got 2 washers here. Go against the little gear over here like that. We can change that out a little bit to change the height also. This one just slips over here like that. Main shaft assembly drops in. Rotate until it goes through. not wanting to go. There it goes. It's going pretty tight. These parts are not happy with each other right now. They do not want to rotate. These forks are not working. So one of these is not good. They're binding right now. See, it doesn't want to rotate. These parts should not be fighting themselves, so something is wrong. This one's really, really tight. This one's nice and loose. So this is binding. So when they make these forks, they're not always perfect. Sometimes they're off. This one's off. Something's wrong with this one. It does not like this assembly. Some other bike it might like, but not this one. So what happens is these are not perpendicular. This face is not square basic to your hole. So your shaft going through this way, they could be tilted like that or like that, and that makes everything nice and tight. I've had them with the ground on the back side in here, they hit. I've had them hit on the outside. I've had lots of issues with these over the years, different manufacturers. All I know is this one's not happy, so I'm going to get a different one. Here's my favorite brand, V-Twin crap, or good part, excuse me. See if this one works. This one's already all burned up, blue. A lot of sharp edges on this thing. Right. Okay, let's see if this one works. Okay, that is sharp. Nice dingleberries hanging out to find areas that like to bleed. Obviously I bottomed out, I heard it. It's in a lot easier, it's a good sign. Not binding now. Doesn't have much clearance either, but it's not binding. I can live with that. Something moved. Hear the gears dragging on the dogs. So, did this gear move? Nope. So that fork is way too tall, or too short, I mean. The dogs are now hitting down here on each other. We're rubbing. Right. I don't know what happened, we lost the camera again. I don't know. Anyway, I was just showing how close the dog was here. It's dragging. I don't know when the camera cut out, so we'll go back to the stock fork and see if it gets better. Obviously this one is not the correct one. It's dragging. Something's dragging anyway. I'm not sure about that. It's still too close, but there's something else going on there. Something is not happy. When it's not happy, it makes you not happy. Okay, so we're not going to use that one. I don't need all the plastic baggies here, only one with a number. Damn it, poked me right in my thumb. I think it's a little sharp. Okay. Let's go go back to a standard and try it. With different parts, things change slightly. Start to fit in there easier. Okay. Let's see what we got this time. Okay, where's our gap at? Okay, there's our gap. And there's our gap there, so we're too high. So the 20 was way too much, but we need more than we got here. So maybe we need like a 5 or a 10. We're just not working. Let's see. All right, let's check our channel shaft gear. So still really loose. So this one can go down lower. See how much that comes up. It's really loose. The roller is loose or something. Got a lot of play in that system. Alright, so we got something else to look at right now. Okay, so this is our standard we don't like. 20 was too much. There's a 5. I've had the same numbers be way different too, so we never know what our problems are until we try it. This one needs to go. Checking our clearance to see if anything seems out of normal. Okay, this is a plus 10. And the next one's a 20. Here's a plus 20, so it's 20 thou longer. Still way high. Okay, so now we got a new mix of parts to check. It's just a trial and error is all it is. Okay, so you can see the gap right here. You got the gap down here, and that looks pretty good. See how close it is on that one? So this is pretty tight here relative to this one now. So that's a plus 5, and that's a standard. You'd think they'd only be 5 thou different, but there's a big change between these things. But you want to have it close to the high gear because it pops, that's when it gets worn the most. So this thing definitely has a lot of clearance in it. Yeah, that's weird. I said the standard has the opposite effect, it puts it way too high. And 5 thou sure made a change. Okay, here's our 20. So you can see the gap is about the same as this one over here, see? So that means this was probably pretty close to the stock gap. And over here, you can see I get real close to low gear still. There's a lot of play in this. So I think this is a candidate for a 30. And this one I'm going to try a different standard on it. Something's different here. Jeez. Okay, this is a 5, but it sure is a lot of 5. Bound up. Come on. Ah. Okay, this one's a 20. Just want to try 30. $30 is the biggest they make, plus 30. I don't use these very often. Okay, the other one. Here's a standard, different standard though. So even though the same markings, they do vary. If this doesn't work, I can go back to another 5, but a different 5. So all the way. Okay, let's see what we got this time. There's our gap right there. The gap there looks pretty good now. Looks pretty even. So this standard works better than that one he has. So this is our 30. This is worse than a 20, it looks like. I mean, it's hitting now. How can that be? This is supposed to be more than the other one, not less. See, it's right up against the gear now. So even though it's marked as a 30, it's actually more like a 10. So you can never go by what things are marked at. Just like this standard is different than that standard. Can't even read the thing. Looks like it says 20 on it. It's even upside down 20 or right side up 30. Either way, it doesn't say plus on it that you can read. Nothing like making them where you can read them really good, huh? Whatever it is, it's not a 30. This one's another one. This one's not opened yet. So I think that other one got mixed up or something. It's definitely more like a 15, which you don't make. Okay, so this is the same wrapping the V-twin had, except this is a Dixie package, so not saying anything, but this comes out all blue like the V-twin. This in the V-twin packaging too. Yeah, that means it came from Dixie. Dixie is no longer available. Defunct company. So this has nice, good writing you can read. Look at that, plus 30, big print. There it goes. All bound up. Not sure what we bound up on, but we're bound up. Obviously that's not going to work when things are bound. Oh. There we go. It was not in the right spot. Oh yeah, that made a difference. Alright, I think we're getting closer now. Ooh, too far. Boy, that thing is loose. Damn, that cork is really flopping around. Too much. This one looks good though. I like this one. This one sucks. So this 30 moved it more like a 40. It was a big change. Way more than we can use. These gears here get in the way. The speedo gear gets in the way of this pulling up, so you always take this off first. Alright, I'm running out of options here. I like my standard. I do not like this 30, it's way too much. In my 20s were not enough. This is not a 30. It says 30, it is not a 30. Take that 30 off. That is not a 30. Korea. Be a CCI part. 20. Try a different vendor. Pocket knives come in handy for lots of things. Okay, so now we have another 20. See if this one works better than all the other ones we've had. It actually looks pretty good. Yep, looks good. See our gap in there now? So it's pretty close there. You go up this way here, and you go to where the dog is. So you got about the same gap right there, see? That gap versus this gap. Okay, that 20 works. So we have all kinds of different numbers, and every one of these we put in is different. Okay, so I like this combination of parts. I got my standard, this CCI 20, Korean 20, not that Taiwan crap. And everything works nice and smoothly, which is a good sign. So it takes a half hour of screwing around, but everything works good. Until we start dragging the gears. Alright, so that all works good. Clutch gear looks nice. I like all that. Now, where's all our counter spacer? I think there's missing more washers. Yeah, we're out of washers. So we have no counter shaft washer and no main shaft washer to go back in the tranny. So I'm assuming they're left out, would be my guess. So they might be all in this hidden box here. I haven't gone through yet. So. Alright, either way, we're done for the night on this one. So I got the transmission more or less set up, as long as he wants to go for a new part, which is pretty well he's going to. We got 2 different shift forks. So we wound up not using either one of his standards. Yeah, these two here suck. So this here, that all looks good. I just got to set the in play, the shift shaft. I don't like the bushing on the far side over here. What a shocker. The in play here has got some issues. I'm going to have to make this tool so I can put it back on here, make sure it's pulled all the way tight, and then check the in play. Hopefully it'll tighten up. If not, it's got to come apart because it's way too much. And I don't like this tight rod. This thing is pretty tight. And I definitely don't like the tight binding inside of here when you go down that on the one revolution. One revolution is good, the other one's bad. So there's something going on in the cams. So what I gotta do is I gotta pull all these lifter blocks out, and I can get in there and feel each cam and see which one is tight when this binds up, see which one of those is tight. And that'll tell me which cam is being a pain in the butt. And I don't like these loose lifters either, but oh well. Can't replace everything in a motor. Well, he already did, but it's just not good parts. So, alright, well, that's it for this one for tonight. It is almost tomorrow. Pretty close. So, if I want to work till tomorrow, that'll be, I should work tomorrow. So, anyway, that's it for the night on this one.